right, Shalom. First and foremost, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kwadash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar and on down to rule well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Alright, so I just wanted to do a short lesson of how alone the spirit of Yahweh Shai Shai allows it to go. And I want to name the video, "The people in Babylon are cattle that will believe anything and are ready to be sea-hipped." Alright. Yeah, I know that's kind of a lengthy title, but if Yahweh Shai sees fit, I'll shorten it. If our great kings give me a shorter title. Alright. But Lord wills, brothers can see on the screen, this is one of the screenshots that I took. Alright. And it says judge sides with young activists. And mainly that this generation, man, the young so-called young people today, alright, Esau is gonna have no trouble hitting them with the sea-hip, giving them the sea-hip. Alright, because again, they're all cattle, sheep, dummies that will believe anything and ready to do whatever the government tells them to do. Alright, whatever Esau tells them to do. Alright, it says judges sides with young activists in first of its kind climate change trial in Montana. Alright. And they're supposed to, the state of Montana or whatever, is supposed to appeal it or whatever. But basically when you read, and again, this is just a screenshot, alright, because I don't have internet on this phone. I just took a screenshot when I was around the Wi-Fi. Basically they sued the state of Wyoming or whatever because they claim that they're not doing enough to protect them from climate change. You know, with this fossil fuel and big oil and all of that shit, which that's a part of Biden's plan anyway, that whole Build Back Better thing, to get rid of all that fossil fuel use and oil and all that fossil fuel use or whatever, to get rid of that and go to straight everything being electric. Alright, digital, that includes the money system. Alright, everything electric or digital, which again, that includes the money system. The main thing they want to turn digital is the money system. Alright. And you know, these people, you know, rather this was set up or not, you know, I kind of believe it was real. Alright, but so yeah, they basically sued them because they think the government or the state of Montana isn't doing enough to protect them from the climate change or whatever, which Esau is pushing out there heavy right now. Alright, this whole global warming thing and all of that, due to, you know, they're claiming fossil fuels and, you know, people having air conditioning in their house and all of that stuff. Alright, they're pointing the finger and saying that's the reason why. Alright. So, okay, got that one, read that one. This is the next one, which this one has a little dust on it. It was put up last month, which today's the 15th, so it's like what, a little older than 2 weeks. Alright. But it says Biden announces new measures to protect Americans from extreme heat. Alright, and again, this is all due to the, like it says right here, it says, critics say steps positive, but modest as U.S. president stopped short of declaring climate emergency. Alright, and what's his name, Klaus Schwab's daughter came out and said, like a few weeks ago, which they said they fact-checked it, and they said it wasn't true. But, and Salakia, kind of take the shit on the road, because I gotta get ready to head out. But, so it's kind of turning this into a transit lesson, Salakia. Alright, but, basically, what they said, they fact-checked it, and, they said that, it wasn't true, that she never said it. Klaus Schwab's daughter said that, climate lockdowns are coming. Alright, which the World Economic Forum, which Klaus Schwab is the front man for, alright, has been talking about, you know, the chances of an attack on the power grid, or how weak the power grid is, and, you know, and they also pushing about climate change and so on and so forth. So the fact that his daughter came out and said, you know, again, you got a fact checker, they said that she never said it. They never said it, but, you know, who knows? More than likely they did. She did, but came out and said that basically again that there's going to be climate lockdowns, just like when the C-19. All right, and this devil Biden, is coming out and saying that he's going to protect the U.S. citizens from this extreme heat, or from this climate change, basically. And just like with the C-19, when they said they're going to protect you from the C-19, what did they do? They did lockdowns. You got to stay in your house. You can't go to your job. You can't be out past a certain amount of time. All right, you got to wear a mask. All right, that was their idea or their solution to protect you. Basically, lockdowns. All right, and that was a inkling of what we saw with the C-19 of martial law. The lockdowns. All right, so on and so forth. All right, so just like with the C-19, when they were saying this is how we're going to protect you by locking you in your house and you won't be able to go out, and you got to be in the house with a curfew at a certain amount of time. All right, and he's saying now that that's how, he didn't say it in the article, but now he's saying that the Biden administration said that that they're going to protect, they got to protect the people in Babylon from climate change or the extreme heat. All right, so then we got to wait and see how it plays out, but they could take the same steps that they did with the C-19 when that was going down. Making people stay in the house because the heat is too hot to go outside right now. You got to wait till the sun goes down, then you can go outside. Or you got to cut your AC off. They'll cut the power off for a certain amount of time, cut the AC off for a certain amount of time. I mean, you got to slack it, or tell the people to cut their power off for a certain amount of time, or limit the amount of miles you can drive daily on your car, or whatever. If you ain't got an electric car, then we gotta wait and see how it plays out. But and that also all links with your CHIP, because basically your carbon footprint, how Esau calls it, your carbon footprint or whatever, is also going to be on that CHIP. All right, right along with your bank account, your carbon footprint, where you're going, how much money you spent on this or that, your AC intake, whatever, so on and so forth, is what they're saying with this whole, they want to link that with your CHIP, all right, your climate footprint with your CHIP, all right, or that information is going to be on your CHIP, so like it, all right, so, no, but it just goes to show, man, that people here in Babylon will believe absolutely anything, man. Like the first one I brought up, the first article, they're out there, people are actually out there suing their states because they said they're not doing enough to protect them from climate change. All right, and just like with the C-19, people was complaining and saying that they're not doing enough to stop the spread and all that stuff. And then, they came with the lockdowns in certain places. You couldn't be out past a certain amount of time. You had to wear a mask. You had to take the vaccination. All right, so on and so forth. So the people in Babylon will absolutely believe anything. Anything, man. And again, they're ready. The majority, especially the young generation, this generation, are all ready to be CHIPs. All right? Why? Because they're sheep. They're like the small hats call them goyim. All right, cattle. This is cattle, brainless sheep, brainless cows. All right. And I say that humbly because at one point, I was docile. I was ignorant of what was going on in the world. But all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that brought me up out of that garbage. All right. So slide here real quick. I got a couple of precepts. So yeah, they're ready. The people will buy anything, man. Just like they bought the C-19, they'll buy this climate thing as well. And whatever Esau does, whatever Esau says, okay, we got to do this to protect you. You got to take this and do this for us to protect you, or make sure you won't be harmed by climate change. Just like with the C-19, when that went down, the people that do it, the people that just do it. Again, because they're basically like the elites of Edom, the geeks of Edom say, the top elite begging families of Edom say, they're all goyim, they're all mindless sheep. This is 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. And there should be a confusion also in many places, right, of confusion in many places. Now, Babylon, the whole world is in a state of confusion. But the word Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great, Babal, which all the brothers, of course, know, means confusion. And the confusion is definitely, and confusion basically means you really don't know, you don't know what's going on. You're just lost. And confusion, you know, Babylon, ever since it's been in existence, has always been in some form or fashion. The people here have always been in some form or fashion in a state of confusion about who they really are, or how things are really going on, how things really work. But now, so more than ever, man, the confusion has increased. All right, now people don't know whether they're a man or a woman. You will know whether somebody's a man or a woman. People don't know what gender they are. All right, so they call themselves pan or whatever they say. They don't identify as a certain gender. You know, so on and so forth. Just the confusion has increased. All right. So Esau tells them something on the media about this. They're too docile and too confused in life to really sit back and basically think. All right, like they tell us something's happening, but you know, I don't see it happening. Like you don't see nothing happening. Well, I ain't gonna go into a whole rant about that, but basically the people are in a state of confusion now, so more than ever. And it's always been like that, because this is Babylon the Great Confusion or whatever, the Great Land of Confusion, but the confusion has increased. All right, and not just here, all throughout the globe, but mainly in America. All right, and the fire should be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their place, and the menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters, which that represents, you know, children being born with certain, disabilities, you know, basically Down, you know, like Down syndrome, you know, things like that. All right, Down syndrome, and you see kids with, you know, jacked up faces and, you know, things like that. But the main part I wanted out of was there should be a confusion also in many places, everywhere right now, because Esau is ruling, the so-called white man is ruling. There's great confusion, and the confusion definitely has increased. Because the people don't know whether they're coming or going. The people just can't think for them. Don't think for themselves at all. All right. Also brings me real quick. Let's get this. Like the Lord said about the people in Nineveh. All right. This the book of Jonah, chapter 4, verse 11. And should I not spare Nineveh, that great city, which another name for America is also Nineveh. That great city, and America is also, Babylon is also known as a great city, wherein a more than 6,000 persons that cannot discern between their right hand or their left hand, and also much cattle. Right. So the Lord said the people in Nineveh, ancient pagan Nineveh, they couldn't, they don't know, they basically didn't know their right from their left. They were so dumb they didn't know their right from their left. And the people in America, literally, you got grown adults that don't know their right from their left here in America. All right. So meaning what? The people here are basically dumb. They'll believe anything, whatever Esau, whatever the mainstream the mainstream media or whatever tells them, they'll just go for it. Because they can't think for themselves and they don't think for themselves. And that's why they are there suing their states or whatever, which the states probably already bankrupt, really can't afford to do anything. But they don't understand that either. But because Babylon's bankrupt now anyway, almost $33 trillion in debt. But that's why they're out there suing them and saying that suing their state, saying that they're not doing enough to protect us from climate change. All right, by pushing out fossil fuels and all that, which that's going to jack up your prices. If you can't afford $3 gas, what makes you think you can afford a $200,000 Tesla? All right. And then, I mean, I don't know all the knowledge about it, all the science about it, but basically, I think in order for you to operate those batteries, them batteries or whatever, in them electric cars, I think you need fossil fuel. Something you need, something you need from fossil fuel. I'm not all the way 100% sure, but on it again, I don't know all the science about it, but I believe you need something from that. So. But, you know, that whole thing, you know it is what it is with that, you know. You can watch, Lord Will Brothers can watch other videos, so like it 1 second. and they can break it down for you, break it down better than I can, Lord's will. All right, but yeah, man, you know, people in America, man, are done, man. People here are done, man. All right, believe anything, and again, they're all ready to take that seat here. All right, so I had 2 more precepts. Because again, with the C-19, when that went down, Esau said that the people were begging, saying they weren't doing enough to protect them. What did they do? Eventually, they did lockdowns. All right, and that could be coming again, because again, the World Economic Forum, Schwab's daughter, they said that she came out and said that climate lockdowns are coming. All right, which hopefully they do. This second Ezra chapter 15 verse 17, that man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. All right, like Hawaii right now. You can't go to Hawaii right now. All right. And they said they're blaming that on a wildfire, but you know there's other videos out there saying that happened otherwise. That happened for other reasons. All right, so you know they could put extreme heat alerts in certain places, and due to the climate change or whatever, like they could come out and say that, and then lock that state down because they're saying that it's too hot, you can't go outside, and nobody can come in. All right, but again, we gotta wait and see how it plays out. You know, Lord will that does go down. Oh, why is it out of that? Salakia. The second Ezra chapter 6, so 17 verse 16, chapter 16 verse 17, and they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, right? And that's the martial law troops. You know, the majority of people in America, the majority of people in America are docile sheep, but there are a percentage of Americans out there that ain't gonna have that, telling you to stay in the house and because it's too hot to go outside, and you can only come outside at this amount for this, you know, so on and so forth. Some Americans ain't gonna have that, man. All right, and it's gonna cause a controversy, problems. All right, but you know we gotta wait and see. But this just shows how crazy the people, how crazy the people in America are, man. They're actually suing their states because they say they're not doing enough to fight climate change. All right, and again, the same thing happened with the C-19. People were complaining, saying they weren't doing enough to protect them from the C-19. And again, what was the result of that? Lockdowns, vaccinations. All right. It was even a COVID a C-19 tax. At one point, some business was paying making you pay a C-19 tax. Believe it or not. And then you got this devil coming out saying this. And just like with the C-19, they said we'll protect you from it. What did they do? They took your rights. You couldn't go out. You had to shut your business down. You had to be in the house at a certain time because the C-19s out there that'll get you. All right, so they can come back with the same thing on this go around. They protect you. We gotta lock things down again. It's too hot to go outside. We gotta lock it down. Curfews. All right, until this appointed time of the day. All right, until the sun goes. You know, so on and so forth. We gotta wait and see how it plays out. But Lord will, this video was edifying. Again, I kind of just saw this on the mainstream. I was watching the mainstream, and I said, yeah, these people here in Babylon don't believe anything, man. All right, and that's why they're doing stuff like this, suing states about climate change. All right, and basically begging the government to do more stuff for them to protect them from it. All right, something that just like with the C-19, you can't see, but I guess it's there. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. Call all you me, how about Shem Yahushua, Barakatah, how about Shem Yahushua. Double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers that push the truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.